Hey everyone, welcome back to part two of my game house tour, I guess. As you recall, this is kind of where we left off last time. What you're facing is the door that leads into my office, where a lot of my collectibles and statues and so forth are kind of at, and where I do a lot of my work. If from last time, this is the corner we were in with all the Dreamcast games, and what I call the retro corner over here is where my Sonic arcade would normally be. But we're gonna go and enter this door here and into a whole nother room. Let's go in here. We're going to do a quick look around here just so you can get an idea of everything. It's a fairly small room, but this was at one point just a regular bedroom that I kind of made into my own thing. So not much going on here. I guess we'll kind of start here. Nothing in the closet is actually full of boxes and such. But along the wall, you'll also notice there's a couple Sonic the Hedgehog little stick-ups and everything that I've got on the walls and everything. That door actually leads into my kitchen. I just have some lanyards of various VIP passes and such from conventions and game tournaments I've been to. Moving around here, this is actually an original Sonic the Hedgehog 2 poster. Back in the day, I've had that all through my college years and part of high school. This is a little board. I actually want to get more original Genesis posters if possible to kind of put up there at some point. Right now I just have keychains of Sonic and Tails if the camera will actually focus, hanging there for a while. Coming down, there's some various advertisements. There's a Sonic Boom advert. This piece of glass actually is the glass for the Sonic the Hedgehog arcade. Kept that back here for safekeeping. Some loot crates. There's the Zenscope Zen boxes that I've had in the past. There's a couple Dreamcast hiding back here. These actually used for my streaming, which I'll get to in a little bit. Back in the corner with some poor lighting, you'll see these are actually vinyls from Data Disc. So I've got quite a handful of them. I don't have them all. I've got the important ones that I like the Shenmue, the Panzer Dragoons, Streets of Rage ones, and so forth. And of course, I have a inbox Japanese Dreamcast, which I rarely ever use because I really don't have a whole lot of import Dreamcast games. But maybe that'll change in time. But for now, that kind of sits there. I managed to find that at a used game shop, which is kind of cool. Coming up here on top of the statue cases here are just some boxes from other various systems. We have a PlayStation 2 controller with Sub-Zero. That was a limited edition controller that they came out with back in the day when one of the Mortal Kombat games from Mortal Kombat 2, I think it was Armageddon, was coming out. They also made a Scorpion one. I happened to grab the Sub-Zero one. I don't use that controller a whole lot. It's very bulky, very large. Of course, you got my Switch up there. There's a Sony Vita original day one bundle back there, my original PSP Go. There's the Zelda 3DS, a Persona Q, which is probably one of my favorite 3DS XL games systems that I have. I actually don't use that one. It's still in box. There's a 32X hiding in the back there, a Sega Dreamcast mouse, a green Dreamcast controller in the box. Let's see here, PlayStation Vita TV hiding behind the slim version. And I think back here we got some more things. There's some inbox VMUs hiding in front of a Sega Genesis box. We've got, of course, a Sonic amiibo, like one of two amiibos I actually own. I never got into that craze. A Sonic Pop vinyl that Matt actually found for me. I guess these are really rare now. I think there was a Sonic, or a Tails and Knuckles as well, but I never managed to pick those up, just the Sonic one. Really nice of Matt to hand me that. Of course, a First Four Figures Tails vinyl, Dreamcast keyboard. There's the original Dreamcast box from $99.99 sitting back there, and a original PSP box. Moving right across here, we have just some more odds and ends. Sonic bottle, little Tails plush. Inside here, we actually have in-packaged those little handhelds that were at McDonald's. There's a whole set of them in here. That I've got that are unopened. I think for whatever reason I have an unopened and open version. You'll see some more of those a little bit later. We have some Street Fighter controllers for Xbox and PS2. I actually use these quite a bit. They're really nice 6-button controllers. It has Udon art, which I'm a really big fan of Udon's comics. I still to this day buy and purchase their art books. And they're just really cool to have. I got two Xbox and two PS2 controllers, which is nice, so I have two players. So we're kind of an even ground. They did make a arcade stick, which I never managed to get back in the day. Some more first floor figure, vinyl figures up there of Knuckles and Sonic. Coming down here, we've got some music samples that GameStop used to give away, or EB Games back in the day. Here's one from Jet Grind Radio and Space Channel 5. They're actually music from the games, and some that were never actually in the game. Just some cute Sonic the Hedgehog kind of felt figures. I thought they were kind of cool. A limited edition Chow bobblehead, which was only available through Sonic Boom in California. I'm not sure how it made it all the way over here. I've actually found that at a disc replay. They were selling it, and I don't know what number it is. These are limited in numbers. I don't remember which number that one was, but I happened to find it for a really good deal, and it was in box and everything. It was really cool. Of course, the Sonic Boom game that was given out to Toys R Us when you purchased the game. I have a few other Toys R Us figures. There's the Japanese figure back there, and hiding in the back you have the Sonic Monopoly game and the maracas for the Sega Dreamcast. Coming back over here to the little wow, geez, the statue case I got. You have these, some of these are actually limited edition ones. I didn't put the batteries in here because the batteries corrode really easily in these statues, so I don't have them on all the time. If you check out my Twitter, you'll actually see some of these I've got lit up, and I've done some reviews for a couple of them. Of course, you got Shadow here. His feet actually, what I call the French fries, because they literally look like French fries when they light up, from Sonic Adventure 2. Going down, we have a couple, the history book, a little puzzle. That's actually a folder I used to use back in my high school days for school, for Sonic 2 on Game Gear. We have our little guy from our rogue from Skies of Arcadia. That has interchangeable arms and heads and all that stuff. My Shenmue little collection here. You've got the original limited edition Shenmue released with the original soundtrack, Landi and Ryo, the original soundtrack itself imported, Shenmue 2 Japanese version, and Shenmue 2 back there for the Xbox. The only thing limited about these is they both have the Phoenix mirrors and such on those. My Darkstalkers set here, we've got the Darkstalkers OVA movie sitting back here along with the OVAs for the PSP. Unfortunately, I don't have the cover art for the second UMD movie for the Darkstalkers movie. Back there's actually a soundtrack for Darkstalkers from the OVA movie. Darkstalkers 3, the PSP game for Darkstalkers, Chaos Tower, the original PlayStation 1 Darkstalkers, and the newly released OVAs on DVD that Amazon happened to have. I actually just received that as a birthday gift from my friend Kim. So that's really cool. And of course my Felicia statue, number 73 out of 300. This is the original. They had a limited edition where she had this two-player pink-haired one, but I prefer the blue hair a lot better. And then a little mini Morgan statue back there. Probably one of my favorite first four figure statues so far is my Tails classic, the Mushroom Hill Zone base. The mushrooms actually light up when the lights turned on, and they kind of glow in and out, which is really neat. Some more random Sonic figures. An original Xbox 360 down here that Matt and Michelle, some time ago, as a Christmas gift, had a customized faceplate done for me with Tails across it. So this is a one-of-a-kind, custom-made Tails faceplate. Unfortunately, that Xbox 360 no longer works. It died from the Red Ring of Death, and so it just kind of sits here, but I didn't want to just have the faceplate because it could easily get cracked or broken, so I just moved the system in here, and that's where it's sat since. Back up here to the top, we have my first statue that I got from the First Four Figures collection of Metal Sonic. This is just the standard version. The limited edition version had his stomach and his lights, or his eyes, and the sparks all lit up. Unfortunately, I never got a hold of that version, but hey, I'm still happy to have something, because it's a pretty cool statue itself. Below that, we have the limited edition Knuckles. The rocks actually glow in this version. Unfortunately, when I received this 2 days later, the button on the back broke, so I can't actually turn the effect on without jamming that button in, and it gets stuck, and it's a pain in the butt to get out. So I don't turn that one on often at all. Modern Sonic is the last one we got in here. This is from Sonic Adventure 1, I want to say. The sparks just light up in this one. The base glows for the ocean effect. Nothing too fancy about that one. And then we have some random plushies. These down here actually were from Denny's when Sonic Underground came out. They gave away Sonic and Knuckles. I happened to grab 2 sets of those. They were like $10 each. They were really cheap. And then some random stuff that I've collected over the years from various places. Oh, now the big thing. This is all full of Sonic memorabilia stuff. The other thing you probably might have noticed or not noticed while we were going through the other room, none of my Sonic games were out there. They're all in here. So we're going to kind of open this up here. Take a look inside. There are all the games. We've got Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Master System, which I don't own a Master System, but somebody actually gave me that copy. Sonic Spinball, brand new, hasn't been opened. Sonic 2 for Game Gear, both open and unopened. And going across, you have Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles, Robotics Mean Machine, Classic Collection, Sonic 3D Blast. Then you get into the Sonic CD, the Saturn games, Knuckles Chaotix, a couple of the GameCube games, and then some big box PC game, Sonic and Knuckles. I do have the Sonic R as well for PC, but I'm not sure where that box is at. It's currently hiding. I think I have it downstairs in the basement somewhere, among some other stuff that I haven't brought up yet. And you'll see some Game Boy boxes back there. The original Game Gear cartridges. The only... Not much to say about that. I've got some of the original instruction manuals and such. A couple other odds and ends. I do have a Japanese Sonic Labyrinth copy. I'm not sure why, but I happened to grab it for $1. Some Tiger LCD handhelds of Sonic 1, 2, and 3. Those all still work as far as I know. They're just no batteries. Moving down to the second shelf, we have strategy guides, some more random stuff. Some PSP games, the Xbox games, Wii, Xbox 360, and then we get into the DVDs in the back there of the various television shows. I think the only ones I don't have is the Sonic Underground collection, which, personally, I never liked Sonic Underground. And these are actually Matchbox cards that I found at Toys R Us randomly when I last worked there. They happened to have them in the back. There wasn't many left, and I happened to snag one. They were like $5 because they were on clearance. Some random McDonald's toys and some little stuff I've picked up. Like I said, there's a couple of unopened or open versions of the McDonald's toys and various stuff like that. Coming down third shelf, you can't see, it's kind of dark, I apologize. There's some soundtracks back there from Sonic Adventure and Sonic Heroes. Some shot glasses, just some sweatbands, some pins. Bubblegum cases actually came with like miniature cards that had like tips and tricks for the game. And then of course I've covered, I did one whole video on the Sonic trading cards. And at the bottom some more just random shot glasses and figures and so forth. And a giant mug that I found at Spencer's, which I thought was hilarious. I am a beer drinker, so that's kind of cool. And you're not going to be able to see it in the back, but that is a Shadow Bendy. And Sonic is over in the corner back there, too. You can't see that. In the middle is a giant Tails plushie that actually came from Sega.com. Back when they released Sonic Adventure, they had a whole set of Sonic Adventure plushies that were only available through Sega.com, and the only one I managed to get was the Tails plushie. I did miss this one back here. We also have the Sonic Adventure 2 official soundtrack, and the Sonic 10th anniversary that was released with Sonic Adventure 2 that has the coin and soundtrack in it. I don't have enough hands to hold that. So there are some interesting things back there. See what things you can spot. But down here in the corner I have this pipe glass stuff of Sonic and Knuckles. I happen to find. Spencer's sometimes has some pretty cool things. A lot of Sonic stuff I found there. Some more fun standee stuff. This is a 5-foot tall Tails doll that I managed to get. These back when Sega owned GameWorks. There's one in Schaumburg, Illinois. This is where this one came from. Back when Sega still owned it, they had these huge plushies. They had Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and Shadow, from what I remember. And there were 200,000 tickets to get one of these things. Of course, back then, they also allowed you to pay cash to earn extra tickets. I think the total came to about 100 or 200 bucks just to get one of these giant plushies. But I was good enough at some of those redemption games that I managed over time, because they let you store up your tickets, to get 200,000 tickets, and I ended up with Tails. But that's a whole story. I think I got pictures somewhere of him in random spots. He's huge. I mean, he takes up this whole corner. I mean, I don't really know how to give a good enough example to prove how tall he is. I mean, unless Matt was here, because this doll is about the same size as Matt, which is hilarious. But anyway, some standees I managed to grab from GameStop, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and Sonic Heroes. They have seen some better days. They're worn out. I think I actually had them in college, too, at some point. In the back there, I have a reproduced scene from Sonic the Hedgehog. I just thought it was kind of cool. And then I've got Tails up here above my desk. And this is kind of where I do most of my streaming and any work that I do. My poor chair, which is falling apart, literally. Actually, you can see right there's a screw on the floor. This thing has been with me probably for almost 15 years now. It's gone through college. It has survived this long. The hydraulics no longer work. It has been scratched to death by cats. I really need to get rid of it. I really would like one of those new Vertigear chairs for gaming, which would be really nice. But those are $300 chairs, and that's kind of on my budget. And even this desk needs to go. It cannot handle the 2 dual screens that I use. But anyway, in the back, you'll see my Beast of a Tower and my Xbox One controller that I use for Steam games. Of course, my dual monitors. Some junk in the back, printer. I've got little key figures from Blaze Blue hanging there. My PlayStation TV sits there. Some random VMUs. I was streaming Dreamcast not too long ago, so that's still plugged in. I might actually do some streaming later tonight or this week. And this is my streaming TV, so basically I sit here and I can have my programs running, and then I see the full game on this side here. And then these are actually just footrests, and inside I can store controllers and various things inside, but it made the perfect height for me to have this monitor on, so I kind of left it there. Of course, you see all my cables and cords and everything. And I've got my VGA adapter hooked up to my Dreamcast, so I have full HD Dreamcast game output. I've got some Saturn controllers still in the box. This section here is actually my streaming equipment that I use. The various cables and everything I'll pack into this box here. You can see my Japanese Saturn. This is stuff that I throw in when we're doing game tournaments like Chip Damage, or if I'm going to like ASEN or anime conventions. Usually I volunteer to bring in some of my stuff, usually a lot of my old fighter games, or the Dreamcast stuff. I just pack it in that box and away I go. That way I have everything and I can still do streaming. I use an Elgato HD for my main streaming capture card, which has worked wonderful for me. You'll see some HDMI splitters, VGA adapters, and so forth that I use to get the best output I possibly can for most of my systems. I don't have a FrameMeister or anything, sadly, but I do what I can. But that's about it. We're going to cut it short here. That is my full tour of my office. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know any comments or thoughts. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.